dinner plate, asparagus does not look particularly remarkable. A few green spears beside a steak, a little melted butter, a pinch of salt, and within minutes, they are gone. But there is something most people at the table never think about. Those small green spears may have traveled farther than almost anything else on the plate. Before reaching a restaurant, before appearing in a supermarket, before being loaded onto a refrigerated truck, that asparagus may have begun its journey thousands of miles away, along the coast of Peru, a landscape of sand, dust, intense sunlight, and almost no rain. Yet in the middle of this dry land, enormous green asparagus fields appear. And from this unlikely landscape, a business worth hundreds of millions of dollars has been built. Asparagus needs water. The desert has very little of it. Those two facts do not seem to belong together. So how did Peru make this work? How do you turn dry, sandy ground into farmland capable of supplying customers in the United States, Europe, and beyond? To understand that, we have to start with the desert itself. From the air, the contrast is hard to believe. Dry, brown land stretches toward the horizon. Then suddenly, a perfect block of green appears. Then another, and another. These farms do not exist because nature made farming easy here. They exist because people learned how to control the growing environment. And the desert has one advantage that is easy to overlook. Sunlight, a lot of it, with very little rainfall. Growers are less dependent on unpredictable storms. If water can be controlled, much of the production cycle can be controlled as well. And that is where engineering changes the game. Before the first asparagus crown is planted, the field has to be prepared. Heavy equipment levels the ground. The soil is loosened. Rocks and other obstacles are removed. Organic material may be added to improve soil structure and nutrient availability. But drainage is especially important. Asparagus is not a crop that is planted for a few months and then replaced. It is a perennial. Under good management, an established field may continue producing for roughly 15 to 20 years, nearly 2 decades. That means a mistake made during field preparation today can affect production for years to come. Good soil alone is not enough. The resource that determines whether these fields live or die is water. Modern farms do not simply flood the entire field. Water is pumped from its source. It moves through filters, into a main line, then into thousands of smaller irrigation lines running beside the crop. From there, water is released directly into the root zone. Drop by drop by drop. The goal is not to water the desert. The goal is to water exactly where the plant needs it. This is drip irrigation. In a wet climate, a small amount of wasted water may not seem important. In the Peruvian desert, every unnecessary gallon matters. Drip irrigation can reduce losses from evaporation and avoid sending water into soil where no crop is growing. But there is an important distinction. Efficient irrigation does not mean unlimited water. It simply means the available water is being used more precisely. And by the end of this story, water will become the most difficult question surrounding the entire industry. If you enjoy seeing how engineering, machinery, and large-scale agriculture can transform harsh environments, keep watching, because the most surprising part is still ahead. An asparagus field can take years before it reaches stable production. And once harvesting begins, the entire operation suddenly speeds up. The asparagus spear we eat is simply a young shoot. If it is not harvested, it keeps growing. It rises higher, then develops into tall, feathery foliage that resembles a fern. That green growth captures energy from sunlight, and much of that energy is sent back underground into the root system. The roots are the real engine of the crop. The part consumers never see is the part that can determine years of production. The process can begin with a very small seed. The seed is planted, moisture is maintained, and germination begins. In the production process described in the source material, germination may begin in roughly 10 to 15 days, but that number can be misleading. Fast germination does not mean fast commercial production. Developing a strong root system takes much longer. In some production systems described in the material, young plants may be grown for roughly 10 to 12 months before being moved into the main field. Nearly a full year spent developing something hidden underground, the root system. Once the plants are ready, the soil is loosened, the roots are lifted, damaged sections are removed. The planting material is cleaned, graded, and prepared for the main production field. This is where the long-term investment truly begins. Long trenches are opened across the field. The asparagus crowns are placed at planned intervals. They are covered with soil. Irrigation begins. And then, the grower waits. During the first year, the plants are often allowed to develop rather than being heavily harvested. Shoots grow tall. They form fern-like foliage. They absorb sunlight, and they send energy back into the roots. To an untrained eye, the field may look overgrown, but in reality, the farm is building its production capacity for the future. By the second year, the plants are stronger. Some production systems may allow a limited harvest, but according to the process described in the source material, it may take until around the third year for a field to move closer to stable commercial production. 3 years. The soil has already been prepared. The irrigation system has already been installed. Workers have already been paid. The crop has already been maintained, and the grower still has to wait. This is not agriculture measured in weeks. It is measured in years, and sometimes in decades. Once harvest season begins, the pace of the entire operation changes. Asparagus can grow quickly. A spear that looks perfect today may be too mature tomorrow. So crews repeatedly move through the rows, looking for spears at the right stage. In the production process referenced here, marketable asparagus is commonly harvested at about 8 to 10 inches long. That is a narrow window, and timing can determine whether a spear enters the premium fresh market or another grade. Harvesting often begins early in the morning. Temperatures are lower, and cooler conditions help reduce moisture loss after the spear is cut. Each spear is checked, then cut close to the base with a specialized knife. It looks simple, but imagine repeating that motion thousands of times across enormous fields. Cut too high, and usable yield is lost. Cut carelessly, and nearby growth can be damaged. For premium fresh asparagus, experienced harvest workers remain extremely valuable. Some large operations use machines to assist with harvesting. Equipment moves along the rows. Sensors or workers identify mature spears. Cutting mechanisms remove the crop. Conveyors carry the asparagus into collection bins. Machines can increase speed. They can reduce some labor costs. But asparagus creates a difficult automation problem. The spears do not all emerge at the same time. Each one develops on its own schedule. And for high-quality fresh product, human judgment is still difficult to replace completely. White asparagus may look like a completely different crop, but the biggest difference is light. Green asparagus grows above the soil and is exposed to sunlight. White asparagus is kept away from light while the spear develops. Beds may be mounded with soil or covered to block sunlight. Without normal light exposure, the spear does not develop the same green color. Harvesting is more difficult. Workers may have to open the covering, locate the hidden spear, remove some soil, and cut it while it is still protected from light. More labor, more handling, a slower harvest, but the result is a distinctive product for a different market. If you did not know that green and white asparagus can come from the same type of plant, tell us in the comments. Did you think they were completely different varieties? And once the asparagus is cut, another race begins. This time, the enemy is heat. After harvest, asparagus is still alive. It continues to respire. It continues losing moisture. And if it stays warm for too long, quality begins to fall. The stems can soften. Texture can become more fibrous. So the crop has to move quickly from the field to the packing facility. Dirt and debris are removed. Then the asparagus is cooled as quickly as practical, using chilled water or other cooling systems. The objective is simple: temperature down fast. On the processing line, thousands of asparagus spears move through inspection. Spears that are badly curved may be separated. Broken spears are removed from premium grades. Damaged tips are rejected. The remaining product can be graded by length, diameter, straightness, color, and customer specifications. The tougher base is trimmed. Then the asparagus may be bundled, placed into trays, or packed according to the buyer's requirements. A bundle of asparagus in a supermarket looks simple. Behind it is an entire quality control system, and appearance is only part of the story. Temperature matters just as much. A perfect-looking bundle can lose value quickly if the cold chain is interrupted. From the packing plant, to cold storage, to refrigerated transportation, to the final market, temperature has to remain as controlled as possible. Most shoppers will never see this part of the process, but it can determine whether the asparagus arrives crisp or already beginning to lose quality. Not every spear is attractive enough for the fresh produce aisle, but that does not make it worthless. A curved spear, a broken spear, or one that does not meet visual specifications may still enter processing. Asparagus can be preserved, packed into jars, blanched, processed into puree, or used as an ingredient in soups, sauces, and prepared foods. Economically, this matters. If only premium grade can be sold, everything else becomes a cost. But if lower grades have another market, what once looked like waste becomes revenue. In large-scale production, higher profit does not always come from growing more. Sometimes, it comes from throwing away less. Once packed, the asparagus moves into cold storage. Cartons are stacked onto pallets. Forklifts move them into refrigerated trucks. From there, different shipments can take different routes. Some fresh product may move by air when speed is critical. Other shipments may travel by sea under temperature-controlled conditions. Every hour matters. Every temperature change matters, because fresh asparagus is still a biological product, and it continues aging throughout the journey. Now consider the scale. According to the reference figures used for this production, Peru has maintained roughly 69,000 to just over 70,000 acres of asparagus cultivation. That is an enormous area devoted to a crop grown largely under very dry conditions. And this is not a small business. Across the statistical periods represented in the source material, Peruvian asparagus exports have been valued at roughly $256 million to nearly $400 million. Even at the lower end, that is more than $250 million. From a vegetable grown in the desert, those numbers do not belong only to the farm. Behind a bundle of asparagus is an entire economic network. Fields, irrigation systems, harvest crews, packing plants, packaging suppliers, cold storage, truck drivers, air freight, ports, importers, supermarkets. A small vegetable can support a supply chain stretching thousands of miles. The United States and European markets are among the important destinations in that system. Export revenue is only part of the story. The asparagus industry also creates work across many stages of production: field preparation, irrigation, harvesting, packing, transportation, quality control, cold storage, export logistics. The reference material for this production also points to the significant impact of export agriculture on employment in producing regions such as Ica. But this is where the story becomes more complicated. Asparagus needs water. And when tens of thousands of acres of agriculture require water in a desert, the important question is no longer, how much can we grow? The better question is, how long can we keep growing it? Some reports referenced in the source material have raised concerns about pressure on groundwater in production areas such as Ica. Drip irrigation can improve efficiency. Technology can reduce waste. But no irrigation system can create an unlimited water supply. And that may be the most important lesson in this entire story. Human beings can turn desert into farmland. We can move water with pumps, control it with valves, deliver it drop by drop through irrigation lines. We can build packing plants, cold storage systems, refrigerated transportation, and global distribution networks. We can move fresh asparagus from South America to a dinner table thousands of miles away. But real success is not measured only by what a farm produces this year. It is measured by whether that system can still operate 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and for the generation that follows. From dry sand to green fields, from a seed that may begin germinating in roughly 10 to 15 days, to a root system capable of supporting production for many years. From spears harvested at only 8 to 10 inches long, to an export industry worth hundreds of millions of dollars. That is how Peru turned one of the harshest landscapes in South America into an important part of the global agricultural supply chain. So if someone gave you thousands of acres of desert and enough engineering to bring water to it, what would you grow? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy seeing how massive farms, agricultural machines, packing plants, and industrial supply chains work behind the scenes, subscribe, because some of the most ordinary things on the dinner table have the most extraordinary journeys behind them.